What's going on, guys? Seth and Chevy here. We just watched episode 4 of season 3 of Demon Slayer. We're a week behind, but we're making up for it by watching this episode and episode 5. So this will be coming out back to back. If you're watching this right now, watch that as well. Quick recap. We're going full spoilers moving ahead, so hopefully you watched this episode. This episode was basically a Royal Rumble. We leave off where the last episode left off, or we start where it left off. Tokido helps Kotetsu out in the woods when he's being attacked by the demon. He cuts its head off, it regenerates, he cuts the pot, realizing that's its source of power. Then him and Kotetsu are heading back to the village together. There's a flashback. I don't remember specifically what details we got out of that, outside of he at some point got damaged really bad and he rehabilitated at the demon corp.
Came off as if he kind of has amnesia.
Yeah. It was like he was like remembering a part of his past.
Yeah.
It kind of goes with him kind of reconnecting with his humanity through Tanjiro earlier as well. So we're getting a hint that there's something in his past that maybe isn't quite as accessible as it should be for him. Should explain why he's kind of not very human-like.
Cold.
Yeah. So anyway, they're heading back. And then there's just a fight happening. Tanjiro's fighting the flying guy. He's fighting the part that's separated from him that is shooting energy beams at him. He cuts that in half on accident. He just does that reaction. He's like, oh no, I cut it in half. Turns into two. They attack him. He realizes the attack's weaker, so he's recognizing that even though it does multiply every time he cuts them in half, they get weaker over time. Then he fights the original flying guy with the talons. They're going at it for a while. He's learning his attacks as you would. He's getting beat up as Tanjiro does. And yeah, he's trying to figure out how to go about fighting this dude while also trying to get back to Genya and Nezuko. Speaking of them, they're back fighting the other three parts of the higher ranked demon. One being the very stern staff dude with electricity. We got the sad guy with the pole arm, and then we got I don't know what the other guy's emotion is, but he's very energetic and ready to fight, and he has a fan. I don't remember, but he's restraining Nezuko while Nezuko's in her more demonic form. Staff guy is just bitching everybody, telling him to get the job done. He's not here to fuck around. And then Genya had been stabbed in the last episode, and we see that this dude, the sad guy, hit him in a vital spot, trying to kill him quickly, as he explains, but he's not dying quickly, and he's going like, oh, this is too bad that he's not dying fast. While the whole time Genya is chanting something. Not quite sure what this is yet. Genya, at this point for me, seemingly seems to not be able to die, because he ends up pulling his gun, shooting dude's head off. It's really satisfying watching him shoot that gun. Every time he shoots somebody, I'm like, fuck yeah. Didn't think I needed a gun in Demon Slayer, but I guess I did. So yeah, he gets the oh god, what did he do to him? He hit him into the room after he shoots his head off. His head comes back, trying to figure out what the hell's happening. The staff guy's getting pissed because he should have just killed him instantly. He wanted him to take his head off or split his head. And then he gets launched into the room. A lot of things happened. While this is happening, Nezuko is able to do a lot. She twists the dude's arm off.
Kicks his chin off
with her crazy legs, and then launches him into the air. After he had kicked her, and it seemed like his fan was through her at one point. Foot, yeah, but they're behind her. Was he holding it back there or something? Because
I think so. She was holding both of his arms.
Yeah, okay, that would make sense. Yeah, because the way it looked, I was like, how did he get the fan through?
No, I'm pretty sure she got kicked, and then she used that blood art to catch him on fire.
Yeah. And then so he's out of the picture. Staff dude getting pissed still. shoves his staff through her neck and electrocutes her. This episode is really gory. I mean, I like it, but like I was really surprised. I'm like, everyone's just shooting heads off, stabbing through necks, kicking through people, kicking chins off. Really crazy stuff happening. Tanjiro's trying to get back, though. He's timing his attack with the flying, like harpy type demon guy. And as he comes down to attack him, he starts running, and it goes to attack him. He, at the right moment, lunges forward, punches his sword through his foot into his head, leg into his head or mouth, and used that momentum to launch them towards the building, which was kind of crazy. They land in there. He cuts its foot off, attacks the staff dude with the foot, because the guy tries to hit him with a new staff he just created, and it doesn't affect the other part of him. So Tanjiro like knows that. And then the staff guy tries to kill Tanjiro with his staff, and Nezuko grabs the staff and stops it. They're all doing their thing. What happened with Genya? I forgot. He's in the room. He came up with a sword and a shotgun.
He did the very, like, samurai thing of, like, announcing his name and saying, I'll be the one who kills you.
Yeah, so he's just, like, ready to murder these dudes. And
well, he's constantly, like, saying religious, like, mantras.
Yeah, and seeing this dude just getting his, like, ass kicked, but it's, like, in control. He doesn't seem like he's worried. Really kind of illuminates why he was able to make it through the original test that Tanjiro did. Yeah. Like, who the hell in that force killed him? Nobody. So no wonder he's angry. So anyway, Royal Rumble's happening. Everyone's kicking each other's asses. It's really crazy. And then we get another scene where the toad pot demon things are attacking the village now. The swordsmiths are trying to defend themselves, but they're obviously not meant to fight. They're meant to create weapons. So that's not great. And then we get, was she the Joy or Love Hashira?
Love.
I still don't know her name. But I feel like we're going to know it soon. I think she said it. I just don't remember. But
it's been said a couple times.
But once she's in the episodes longer, I'll be able to remember. She's on her way. So hopefully she can help with whatever, since everyone is just fighting everyone. It's chaos. And he has a lot of details that I'm not going to go into. What do we think of this episode? It was awesome, right?
Yeah.
It was a good episode.
A lot more hyper-violent than I was expecting.
Yeah.
Not complaining. It just happened instantly. The choreography with multiple fights happening is phenomenal.
Really good, yeah.
I also don't feel like we're getting, like, too many, like, weird, like, jumps and stuff like that. It's very fluid motions in the fights and stuff, so I liked it a lot.
Especially coming from Hell's Paradise, where we've complained about some of the fights just kind of cutting off. It's nice to see just like this top tier, high budget animation and choreography.
Yeah, and I, know, how capable they are, and they still manage to, like, make it, like, really almost surprising and just, like, incredibly, like, fun to watch. So they're a talented company.
It's crazy because, like, the first season of Demon Slayer, I was like, this is cool, I like this. But then, like, Mugen Train happened, I'm like, oh, this is like crazy. Like, they really kind of changed up this fight. And then last season, I was like, well, what are they gonna do here? And it's like all this, like, fast-paced ninja combat shit happening. I'm like, this is crazy. How are they gonna top this? And now when I'm watching this, I'm like, this is different.
Yeah.
So
yeah, no, it's great. I am curious about I can't remember the dude's name now. Genya,
shotgun guy.
He I know in a previous episode, oh, my brain, please. Inosuke said he could move his organs at will. So I wonder if this is kind of a similar thing.
Yeah. I'm wondering if he's healing himself.
Well, I know they can do minor healing with breathing techniques, so maybe he's really good at it.
Really good at it because he's scarred up. So obviously he's taken damage before.
Yeah, so be curious to figure out his whole thing because we're not really seeing him use breathing techniques in combat either.
No, he's sloppily shooting at people and swinging a sword at them.
Yeah.
While talking shit.
Very, very, like, just to the point kind of guy.
Which is kind of neat because, like, now that we're learning him as a character, and he's not just the angry guy that doesn't like Tanjiro, he has, like, a recklessness to him that kind of reminds me of Inosuke, but it's not the same because Inosuke is just, like, a berserker who's just like,
Yeah, dude's a lawnmower.
yeah, he's like, let's just go, let's get in there. Like, I want to fight. I'm the best, but this dude's just like, fuck me up. I'm gonna kill you. So there's a different energy to him that I think is interesting.
Yeah, versus like the Mist Hishara. He's very precise in all his swings and stuff like that. Like they've all been like perfect swings. So
yeah, he's much more calculated.
yeah, it's interesting seeing these different dynamics as like Tanjiro's just always like winging it. So
Tanjiro is always trying to take in the situation because of his senses, his how observant he is on things. And I know like a lot of them are going to be like that, but that seems to be a really big thing with the inner dialogue we get from him as a character a lot.
And I shouldn't say winging it as much as like strategizing on the fly.
Yeah, because even the demon in this episode was mentioning how like he figured that out. He's resourceful
And instantly reacted to it.
Yeah. He had to. It was neat because he busted in, had the foot. And I'm like, how do you figure that out? And then we go through the process of, obviously earlier, but then the staff guy's talking about he's breaking down what just happened for us. So it was an interesting way they decided to do that. They could have just had him bust in and have Tanjiro go, if I do this and do that, this will happen. But he just did it. And then the guy's like, wait, hold on. He came in, cut the foot off, then came at me.
Yeah.
So he must know. So it was an interesting way they did that.
For sure. I also like that we found out that the fan itself is the power, not so much the guy. Because when Nezuko ripped dude's arm off and blew him away with his own weapon, that was cool to see.
I loved when she grabbed his arm and she spun her body like a crocodile roll.
Yeah, it was
and just ripped his arm
crazy
off.
Looking.
That's fucking crazy, yeah.
Her whole fight was kind of crazy, and because she's also a demon, she always ends up in really gross fights. So, and then the pot fish army, coming into town was super creepy, but
kind of reminded me of Berserk. Less eerie, but like a situation where there's just people being attacked by monsters like that. I'm just like,
and the only perk I could see, obviously they're not fighters, but I imagine the metal is the same type of metal, so I'm sure it would do damage to demons if they manage to score a hit. But I doubt we're going to see much of that.
Swordsmiths, you need to take a note from Genya and become gunsmiths. Just shoot them.
Just have riflemen.
Yeah.
And then I was a little surprised to see that we got to see the Love Hishira being told and heading towards the battlefield, because I honestly expected, I waited this whole episode, I was expecting like this Deus Ex Machina of her just saving someone, showing up off screen, ta-da, I saved your life, type thing. It's very typical in storytelling. So
yeah. Well, when the staff got stopped for Tanjiro, I mean, of course it makes sense Nezuko did it, but I was for a split second thinking like maybe she showed up and helped.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Nezuko made sense. It wasn't so much Deus Ex Machina as much as we know she can heal fast. It makes sense.
Nezuko Ex Machina.
Yeah. Versus like, I was just expecting Love Hishira to like show up in a fight mid-fight, and she's actually like running there. So
yeah,
that was an interesting take.
I feel like she's gonna be a big focus the next episode, just because the end of the episode kind of hyped her up.
Especially the after credits was about her too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we got that real quick introduction to her a bit.
How she paints because she doesn't think she get a boyfriend, and then the background's just a bunch of dudes with hearts in their eyes. She's just like a guy in dense. So
true.
But otherwise, it was a fantastic episode. This is kind of like 75% of the reason you watch this show is for this kind of stuff. So it's fantastic.
Yeah, I can take really anything they do with this show, because I think that I like the characters, I like the humor, I love the action, and the story. Even though since the beginning has been kind of straightforward, they do it well. So defeat the demons, they're bad. There's a whole group of people who do it. But yeah, they always deliver on all those fronts. But yeah, when they do action with this show, they do it very, very well, to a point where I look at other shows and I'm like, well, yeah, you're still fine. Like I enjoy watching you too, but it's really hard to kind of top the quality they put into this show. It's crazy. This episode is awesome. Not a whole lot of story. It was just a fight, and that's fine, because most of this season so far has been fun storytelling and some hints at things. This was just straight up action and very very satisfying because we got this threat, we got this demon that showed up. He's splitting into multiple parts. We got a lot of people at play, and the episode did a great job on covering all those different situations. I am curious to see what happens with Tokido and Kotetsu in the next episode, just because they were out. I feel like Tokido's being wasted killing that frog monster guy, because there's bigger fish to fry. But that was more so kind of giving us a hint at why he is the way he is in his past, and his humanity is still there and stuff like that. But the fight was really good. I'm not going to go over every little detail again, but like it was just really well done. I went from thinking fuck Genya to in this one episode going like maybe he's cool. I like the way he fights. I said I think in the last review, but a lot of games if I can have a gun and a sword at the same time, I like that mixture. So I definitely like his setup. It's very straight to the point, not very not too interesting, but gives him a lot of options. I think it's kind of cool. Definitely curious to see why he is the way he is and what his power is, because they made a really big point of like they hit him in a vital spot and they should have killed him instantly. So we speculated on already, but definitely curious about that. And then the Nezuko fight was awesome. She's become she's always been a likable character for sure, but in combat, especially from the last season, she's become a really interesting character to watch because she doesn't use a weapon. She just kicks people's heads off, and she's really brutal, and I love watching that.
Yeah.
And then I love the dynamic between the different parts of the demon as well. I like how they all are like telling each other what they should be doing. They're like, I was going to do that anyway. It's like, yeah, because you guys are all the same person. Yeah. But there's just different elements of the demon, because like the one guy is like, I'm going to kill this guy, but I don't feel good about it. Like, I don't want to make him suffer. And the other guy's like, just murder him.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, let's get this done. And the other guy's fucking around because he's like, this is fun. I like this. So it's a really interesting dynamic. And it's really interesting to have one of the higher rank demons effectively be a bunch of characters. It's was definitely unexpected the way they went about this, but I like the way they're doing it. I'm curious about the longevity of this, as we're seeing pretty even fight so far between everybody, it seems. So bringing in the Love Hashira and Tokido showing up, I think will, unless there's a hidden thing that we're going to find out about with this, which I'm sure there will be.
Yeah, the season just started.
Yeah, it seems like he's going to get overwhelmed pretty quickly. So I don't know if he's going to be retreating or if the other dude who's just summoning shit is going to come and do something. I'm sure he will. But yeah, overall, great episode. Very happy with it. I liked it a lot. I'd probably give it, if I was just grading these episodes, an A. This was a really, really good episode. So definitely entertaining. Yeah, can't wait to watch the next episode. We're going to be watching it right after we do this review. So anything else you want to say? All right, let us know in the comments what you guys think of episode 4 of Demon Slayer.
Pretty sure.
Season 3. It's like off by 1 compared to the other show we're watching for the channel. So what'd you think of it? What'd you take from it? What'd you like about it? What was one of your favorite parts? I was going to ask what you didn't like about it, but you didn't dislike anything in this episode. Yeah, where do you think things are going? Unless you've read the manga, don't tell us. We haven't seen it or read it, so it's all a surprise for us. But yeah, I've been sad this with Chevy. Stay tuned. We got another review of the next episode of Demon Slayer coming out at the same time this review's out, so make sure to go watch it. And yeah, until then, we will talk to you guys later.